All right, let's talk about a stage that pretty much every entrepreneur goes through. It's that moment where it feels like you've just been handed the keys to the car for the very first time. You've got some real momentum, sales are coming in, but let's be honest, you're also just a little bit reckless. This is what we call the rebellious teenager phase of business. And trust me, understanding the pitfalls here is absolutely the first step to really taking the wheel.
Does that sound familiar? You probably started your business dreaming of freedom, but now you feel completely trapped, just running around putting out one fire after another. You're not steering the ship, you're just frantically patching holes to keep it from sinking. You know, that feeling is the classic sign you're in this teenager phase. But the good news is, you can totally get through it.
So, to navigate this stage, you've got to recognize the common traps. We're going to break down the 5 biggest problems that trip entrepreneurs up right here. First up, there's overconfidence. Second, you get stuck in that busy but not productive trap. Third, you're totally profit blind. Fourth, there's no real company culture to speak of. And finally, you're flying blind with no metrics. So let's dig into that first one.
When you first get going, you are just brimming with confidence. You've got these huge, world-changing ideas about how you're going to revolutionize your industry. But what really happens? Well, you quickly go from being a visionary to being the lead salesperson, the bookkeeper, and probably the janitor for your own company. That grand vision gets buried under the daily grind, and that early confidence, it can actually blind you to the real work that needs to get done.
And that leads directly into the second problem, the busyness trap. Your calendar is packed, right? You're working 16-hour days, but are you actually moving the business forward? Or are you just reacting to things? That is firefighter mode. This is the core issue right here. You're working in your business, not on your business. And that dream of freedom you started with, man, it feels further away than ever.
Now, this next point is really interesting because it's so deceptive. Sales are coming in, so you think you're absolutely crushing it. Your income statement might even say you have a profit. But when you look at the bank account at the end of the month, there's nothing there. Why? It's because so many entrepreneurs at this stage don't get the huge difference between profit and cash flow. You've got to remember, profit is an opinion, but cash is a fact. And cash is the oxygen your business needs to actually survive.
Okay, so when you're in pure survival mode, things like company culture just seem like a total luxury you can't afford. You're probably a team of 1, maybe 2, and you're just trying to make it to Friday. But here's the real danger. If you don't lay that cultural foundation early on, you end up building a company that's based on emergency and reaction, not on shared values. And that makes it so much harder to attract and keep the right people later.
And the final trap is trying to navigate all this without any kind of map. Key performance indicators, or KPIs. That probably sounds like some stuffy corporate term. You might have a vague idea of what's important, but without clear numbers, you're just guessing. It's exactly like driving down a highway at night with no headlights on. You have no idea if you're about to drive off a cliff. Without data, there can't be any real accountability. Not for you, not for your future team.
So what's the way forward? The crucial point is this. You can't fix these problems until you admit you have them. You have to be brutally honest with yourself about where you are right now. I mean, think about it. Your GPS can't give you directions unless it knows your current location, right? Your business is the exact same. Recognizing that you're in this rebellious teenager phase isn't a sign of failure. It's actually the first, most critical step toward becoming a true empowered owner.
So take a hard look. Do you recognize your business here? Are you the overconfident firefighter who's a little blind to cash flow and flying without a dashboard? If you are, hey, congratulations. You've just found your location on the map. Now you can finally start plotting a course to where you want to go. The real question is, which fire will you decide to let burn so you can finally start building something that lasts?